Let's call the meeting to order. First item up is the adoption of the agenda. Is there anything emergent to add? Jim wanted to add
The
a library topic in closed.
Yeah.
And anything else? Nothing? Okay, would somebody like to move
I'll move
the
it.
agenda as amended? James? All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And the next item up is accounts payable for information. Larry moves. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none? All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Moving on to cash and investment summary. Somebody like to move that for information? Matt? Any questions or concerns? James?
I might just not know what I'm looking at here, but the numbers, I was looking at the landfill number here, which says payments 112,000, but then when you go back to the accounts payable, it said that we paid out 1.7 million, so I'm just wondering why there's like a $600,000.
So
The cash and investment summary is from May 31st.
Oh,
So it's just for that specific month.
okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Good enough.
So all the big purchases came in June. That's next meeting. Yeah. Okay.
So their bank account will look a lot lower.
Because we'll have June's money. Okay, any other questions on that summary? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And the budget report for information.
I'll move that.
Jim? James?
Another question, just so I understand this. So, numbers in brackets is money received that came in, and numbers not in brackets is money that goes out, or is it the other way around?
Yes, that's how it would be in your 2022 budget and actuals column. Yeah, your brackets would be your credits or your incoming.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Well, your brackets are what's left over, right?
In
That's
the-
money still remaining.
In the variance of the expenses, yes.
Yes.
But if you went up to the.
Incomes, then it's the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just made another note here, so I gotta find it. So,
Eh,
I just have
Matt?
a question in regards to that then, like, I did highlight something on page 8 and it seems to be, or sorry, not page 8, page 3, maybe?
Page
It's-
3 of the
it's
budget?
Of what we're on now,
Yeah.
but seems to be all blurred out now. And it was just a question in regards, because like I said, we're new, or was it page, I think I wrote down page 8, so if we can go to page
Well, that
8.
might be page 8 of the council package. Okay, but go to page 8 of this.
it's,
Okay.
Oh, no, I can't seem to find it now, because it's all blurred out right now on my iPad.
Were you using whiteout? Don't do
No. Not blurred out. Oh, there it is. Oh, page 3. It was all like, you couldn't see it at all. Sorry.
It's okay.
So like, let's say 29.
212?
21202 219 or 221, like public relations. And this is one that caught my eye when I was looking.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it says our approved budget is 61,695. Is that saying that we've spent 59,000?
No, we've spent 1,900, we have 59.7 remaining, 97% remaining.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure, so. I was
Yeah,
just like,
and
holy crap.
it- Yeah, it is, I had to look at this a few times, but then once I got it figured out, then it was easy. So
Yeah,
that is money remaining, and sometimes these are allocations too that Mike makes later, so something can look really good till he just decides to push the button and transfer from this
That's
fund to that
what I
fund,
was
and then it's all
thinking, 'cause-
gone, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the one question that kept coming up over and over. When you guys go over budget, you have to come to us.
Yes, sir.
So, our fuel, we will probably run out of fuel money in July.
Yeah, and in June, there is an allocation of that fuel to the garbage unit. So you're gonna see actually our fuel go down and then the garbage,
Oh,
because
okay.
right now there's no fuel in the garbage.
I know, okay. Well, I was just looking at a few times, and we know that fuel is $2 a liter, and we didn't budget for that, so
No.
we're gonna run out. So we're gonna have to make some motion, either July or August, well, obviously August now, minimum, that we do something.
Yeah,
So
right?
Mike
Otherwise,
is,
you can't do fuel purchases without coming to council first.
right, so Mike will probably be bringing forward a motion to reallocate from somewhere else,
Right.
where we may have some extra.
Well, yeah, there's some places maybe, but, yeah, definitely, I noticed that was one thing that we were definitely getting low on. Go ahead, James, you found
So,
it?
yeah, I found it. So I was just kind of going through and looking for large numbers in the variance column. And it's a high percentage at 192%, but on page 10, number 2272032223, registration and tuition, it went $7,600 over the allocated budget. So, like, does that money just then get pulled from somewhere else in the budget,
Where are
or
you
What
at,
number
sir?
you on?
page 10?
Yeah,
It's 192% variance, 272032223 under recreation.
yep, they
Registration.
obviously spent a lot more money on,
Yeah, they spent
Now-
more than double, almost 3 times.
So we would look at that number and see, probably something's coded wrong.
or everybody needed retraining.
Well, we did have to change into the new lifesaver.
Yep, you guys went to the,
Yeah.
Red
So-
Cross is no
so
longer there, but,
We do ask that you highlight those things,
Yeah.
and then they go back, Mike looks at the GL, talks to that director, which in this case is Shannon, to find out what the heck happened,
Right, okay.
because that doesn't make sense.
Well, that just, it's a very high percentage. It's not a high dollar amount of
Yeah.
money per se,
He's
but
probably looking that up right now as we speak.
okay. All right. So any other questions on the budget update? Seeing none, all in favor of receiving for information, opposed, that is carried. And then the payroll budget update for information.
I'll move it.
James? Any questions or concerns on that one?
Just on both of them, both of them said 6 council approved up top. Why does it say that? Like, is that how many?
that's
people-
just the version in the budget software. So the first one is the initial budget, and it works down to the council approved budget.
Oh,
And that's what is forward as our final.
I was curious on the wording of that, okay. So 6 just
Text
happens to
message.
be the 6th version?
Yeah,
Gotcha. Thought it meant 6 of us approved it or something. Okay.
Chris Sember did not.
Any other questions on the payroll budget?
It's not a 30-kilometer-hour zone. I'd approve this.
Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay. Now we move on to minutes. First up is the council meeting held July 18th for adoption. Chris? Any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And then the Shortgrass Library System meeting held April 20th, 2022 for information.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim? Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And then Subdivision and Development Appeal Board hearing held June 30th. Larry? Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. moving on to section 3, bylaws. We have third reading for Eastside Area Structure Plan bylaw. Was there some amendments between 2 and 3?
Can you turn your mic on so that people can hear? Yes.
Yep, mic on. Somebody has to put it on the,
Oh.
Chris? James, questions?
Yeah, I saw something in here about the school zone, because I know that it was brought up at second reading that the school zone being right before or after the stop sign, whichever way you wanna look at it, could potentially be a traffic bog. What was done to mitigate that?
They said they were gonna make a they were gonna make them fence that little portion along 9th Avenue, and therefore wouldn't require.
That would remove the 30-kilometer requirement then?
Right.
Okay.
If you can't rush across the road, you don't need, like if you
Can't just
contain
run out,
them.
Yeah. Herd them like cattle. Okay.
There's a fence around the pool. There's a fence around
Not
the
around
pool.
the skate park.
Pulling around the skate park, well, they got the poles, that should be good enough.
Not around the basketball courts at the rectangle.
Okay, one fence around that.
That's gonna
How's
be
your
an
dog
every
doing,
council
Chris?
meeting thing, isn't it?
Me and Chris have a lot of text message exchanges
Yeah.
about this.
Send them some
So,
pictures.
any other questions? Seeing none. Okay, all in favor of third reading? As amended, right? Okay. Opposed? That's carried. All right, request for decisions. Request to purchase a walking path adjacent to 15 Riverview Drive Southeast for consideration. Matt, what motion would you
Oh,
like?
sorry, I move for option 1.
Okay, scroll to option 1. Please and thank you. Very good.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Is that the wrong
Um,
motion?
I think, I don't know, I'm not sure actually. This is something I think we should be discussing, so.
Well, then, what you did is put it on the floor. It can be discussed and
that-
voted on.
I think we should put
Yeah,
it on
it's, okay.
because
Option 1. Any questions or concerns?
What page is that on?
It's right here on your screen.
Oh, okay.
It's page 2 of that motion.
James?
So, if I'm looking at this map with a whole lot of lines on it here properly, where the walking path is the path that goes between those 2 rows of houses, is that correct?
It goes between the 2 houses and then it turns and goes into the court. It connects to another path, like hits the alley and then turns.
Right, so, I guess this might just
It's
be
this
very
one right here.
blunt, but why would we buy it?
No,
No.
he wants to buy it.
Oh, he
It
wants to
already
buy
is
it.
ours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
And he already
I
came once to
misunderstood that.
wanna buy it.
And we just received it for information,
Yeah.
so.
If I remember correctly, we didn't like it because then it inhibited foot flow traffic in between houses connecting the pathways. I think
Mhm.
Jim spoke to that as well.
Because that's where my question is if that path disappeared, like, how, they have to go quite a ways around just to go back around to use that
Exactly.
path. Like to use.
Yeah,
it-
like anybody coming out of the court, if they want to use the path, they come down to the alley, come around the corner, then come through there, and then across Riverview Drive from that, between,
So this is to the right of number 15.
then there's another
that's what-
path that takes you onto the
There's
golf
3
course.
In between 15 and 17. I
Yeah.
was looking between 15 and 11.
This, yeah, it's between 15 and 17.
Okay.
That is the path
He wants
in
to buy.
question.
Oh, okay.
And his yard doesn't look like that anymore. It's all concrete.
Is there anything different on this ask from the previous one?
Nope.
Or is it
No.
just him asking again?
Same
Oh,
thing, only different.
Was it the same council that he asked last time?
Yes?
Yep.
I don't think it's a good idea because that was designed so that you could cut across from one to the other one. When we start selling that, it's just, we did that with some of the greenhouses with the back alleys, and it turned around to bite us.
And then if I remember
And-
correctly, it takes away one of the streetlights.
Well, there is a street light in the middle, right? That's
Yeah.
why there's that electrical.
Oh, that's
going-
right.
Like all these paths have a little lantern style light in them. They're not a full street light, but they're a light that you can see at night and it doesn't beat bedroom windows, depending on what you
Yeah.
say.
It's my opinion, it just takes away from everyone that does use it. If we were to,
Yeah, well,
Let
like
it
we said, the
disappear.
package there, it really limits connectivity between paths.
It does, yes.
Well, and then there was a whole bunch of stuff that Shannon was gonna look into too, as well as the caveats on this property, right? There's certain things that were architecturally put in and everybody that bought a lot signed off on it, so I don't know if legally you can even sell that. You can? Okay, so it is legal to sell it, okay. So, I guess is it a benefit to the town of Redcliff to sell that walkway?
For $11,000.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And the motion is
He-
to
The
sell it
motion
to
is
him?
to sell it.
Yeah.
can I change one?
No, no, it's,
Oh.
you're always supposed to make a positive
Yeah,
motion,
you
so
can't say
actually
not to
this
sell it.
is a positive motion. If it's defeated, then it doesn't
I see.
happen, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, you don't have to make a motion that wins,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody else have
But
anything
if
they'd
it
like to say?
doesn't pass, then we'll have to go to motion 2 and just receive
No,
information.
no,
no,
We
it's,
don't have
then
to.
it's,
It's
So
dead.
it's defeated, of course, yeah.
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 Boy, I'm glad I'm here today.
So am I.
Sir, the only difference
This
between
isn't your
option
first
1 and option 2 is that option 2 asks council to direct us to know that this lot is not available for sale. That's the
Well, I
difference
think if this motion gets defeated, that's like telling you it's not for sale, right?
to him.
To anybody.
Option 2 says council is not interested in selling.
Future council could change art. I'm okay with, you can ask, I don't care.
Right. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Opposed? It's defeated. And interest in hard surfacing the old Trans-Canada Highway between Range Road 65 and Range Road 70 for consideration.
I'll move option 1.
Gotta scroll to option 1.
The only option.
And then I'll follow up with a question. So this is basically from 8th Street to Silver Creek,
Almost, yeah.
pretty much, like that
Yeah.
intersection, right?
Yeah,
From
the next
intersection to
mile.
intersection.
It's a whole mile.
Yeah. And that's all county land. They just want us to help pay for it because our residents will use it to go to the dump.
Landfill, yeah. Sharing, the only thing is, I haven't read this since last week, but there was no money there was no numbers in here, right? So we don't even know what we're signing up for?
We're signing up for getting a grant.
But that doesn't cover it all.
But that doesn't cover everything.
Yeah, so it said that there's an estimated cost of 1.8 million to do the project. And then there were 50% contribution grants for a maximum of $3 million per project. And then,
Right, but of the 1.8, that means we could get up to 9, and then how is Cypress County and us splitting, or is that that hasn't been discussed?
No, sir.
Like, are we doing 50/50,
and this option
25/75?
just kinda says that we're directing you guys to look into that further. Is that correct, if I'm understanding the motion?
Correct.
And then you have to come back to us.
We'd have to come back to you, but I do want council to know that this project is not in your MySIP list.
Mhm.
Was it
It's
not
not
in my
on
SIP?
any list, not on
Because I
ours.
remember talking about it before.
Eighth, but not Range Road 65, whatever you wanna call it, but not the old Trans-Canada Highway in Redcliff, some of that could use some work, but again, this would Yeah. This is out of town. It's one of those things. But it is just a motion to discuss, so,
Mhm.
Yeah, we could not like the numbers
right.
when it comes time.
Larry?
Sure. I think another thing a person should consider when doing this would be, we're so close to the railroad track, and there's usually a lot of water in the ditch there, and we end up with horrendous boils on that road. I think that we should make sure that that can be worked out so that we don't pave it and the thing just blows up on us.
So make sure drainage gets looked at as well. I don't know if that mile is as bad as the mile in town. Like from Mitchell to 65, that is a lake.
That is a lake, yeah. But maybe
But
this is.
there could be, I don't really pay attention, I don't go
Yeah.
out there that often. Okay, all right.
I know the road in front of Kent Hawk is always terrible.
That's the one.
That's Range Road 65.
No, no, no. The-
Oh,
The old
coming in
Trans-Canada
town,
that
okay.
runs in front of Kent
Yeah.
Hawk, like, that's pothole city out there.
yeah, it's bad. But they're not looking at that, that's our road. Okay, any other questions or concerns? All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And then the Medisnet District Chamber of Commerce 2022 Business Awards.
I will make the motion that we send a letter.
Okay.
That's what they're asking for, right?
Yep. Congratulations, letter. Chris? Any questions or concerns? All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, moving on to policies. We have the new and improved impairment at work policy for consideration. Kathy?
Option number 1.
Okay. Questions or concerns?
It's just at work, not council, right?
You know, I got off work
Yes,
today, I went
yes.
home and I was
Okay.
about to have a drink with supper, I was like, oh, right, council meeting tonight.
Okay, any other questions? Real?
Could have been right.
All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Correspondence from the National Police Federation.
Another one.
They're,
This is a big one that we're not part of.
they're struggling for their union. Does anybody want to
Oh,
receive
that's
this for information?
Receive for information.
Kathy? Questions or concerns? All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And then the Shortgrass Library System 2023 System Operating Budget Population figures. Jim? Any questions or concerns?
What says the library just likes the other number better, so they can ask for more heads? Yeah, okay.
The big reason for this is years ago when Shortgrass was founded, all subscribing municipalities signed a contract. And in the contract, it says we will use the numbers from municipal affairs to base our population and budget numbers on. Municipal affairs no longer keeps numbers.
Oh, I see.
So rather than everybody revisiting the contract and trying to re-sign it, the Treasury Board keeps estimates, and that's what they literally call them. They don't line up with the Canada Census or nothing, they're estimates, but that's the numbers that we will go by. At least they're an Alberta number.
Well, I was
So
gonna
it's
say,
just
we
a-
got 266 population growth in 4 years.
Right.
That's pretty good.
And Shortgrass, between the library and council, because each side gets billed close, it's close to $10, so that would mean another $2,600.
From us to them.
Is it that high per head?
Yeah, like we pay, I think municipally, we pay just over 5, and the library pays something.
Just under 5.
Okay, we
Yeah,
pay 5.
Yeah, when they're combined, cause really the taxpayer is paying both sides.
Yeah.
It's close to $10.
Yeah.
So does that mean the library's gonna come for more money again now next year because of this?
I'm not gonna say that.
I said it.
Jim guaranteed they won't.
Anyway, so that's
having a fight over there.
that's why this letter was sent out, is because
Okay.
even last year, there was some confusion when we billed them by their population. Some municipalities argued that their numbers weren't that. Well, it's not like we're making them up, we're using somebody's numbers.
Yeah.
They're making them up, but. Okay. That's all. Okay, so Jim moved it for information. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Other, Redcliff Days event, 2022 update for information. Matt,
For information.
questions or concerns?
Does that 23,000 include the fireworks show?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's usually around 10,000.
And nothing but compliments on the fireworks.
Oh, they were really good.
No,
Yeah.
that's always a good
Yeah,
show.
I quite enjoyed it.
I missed it. It was a Legion
I
on my
did too.
road.
I was
You
in
can leave,
bed.
old timer.
Ryder woke me up.
You can leave your house. Oh, no. What was in the road? Legion?
The Legion, I was at your place.
Oh, were you? That was that night.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see them from my place.
On the roof.
Well, on the roof, definitely.
You guys didn't have a romantic night on the roof
No,
watching the fireworks?
guess not. No. What show was
And then
that?
nothing to you.
Yeah, what show was that? Well, it was those chaps.
Brokeback Mayor.
Anyway, that we are live, but thank you for that.
And we're not homo.
How many are listening? Samantha, did you hear that? Okay.
Chris is on.
Does anybody have any questions or concerns otherwise
No.
on the update? Okay, all in favor for information? Opposed? That is carried. And then the Canada Day event 2022 update for information.
I missed that.
Chris? Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And then the storm event on Monday, July 18th.
For
For
information.
information. Kathy? Any questions or concerns?
Just kudos to the town staff.
Mm-hmm.
that Got out there and got things moving and
Yeah.
getting back to normal as quick as
Now,
possible.
Environment Canada's sister actually was a tornado.
Out in Cypress County.
Yeah.
Yeah, out by
Not here.
Aquadale.
Close
We
to
ju-
right.
We just had one.
Which was good because I had my dog in the backyard.
The dead dog.
She's.
Ryder was home alone.
I catch your reference from earlier now.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
Okay, anything? All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And then municipal manager report to council for information. Larry? Any questions or concerns?
One.
Matt?
Just in regards to the fire department stats, it said something about, that's on page 8. Youth trapped in playground equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's happened just recently before that, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Is
about
it the
3-4
same-
times.
Is it
Yeah.
the same piece of equipment?
Is it the
Most
same
of the
shot?
time
That was a
it's
better
the
question.
drum.
Yeah. Pardon me?
Most of the time, no, this was actually a totally different
The
playground.
drums at
Oh,
IF
okay.
Cox?
Yeah, this was actually at Margaret Wooding.
Yep.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yep.
okay, because I was gonna say, if it's the same piece of equipment.
Nope, nope, no.
No.
All right,
The
Even
two
if-
at IF Cox were the same,
okay.
but this one was different.
Okay.
So if it was the same piece of equipment, you were gonna say get rid of the piece of equipment. What if it's the same job?
But we can't
Wanna
say,
give it a shot?
but we can't say get rid of the equipment because it's not our equipment, it belongs to Prairie Rose.
That's right.
We can just
Yeah.
express some concern,
Yeah.
but
Well,
Well,
this one wasn't equipment, I don't think, it just,
Unless it was on one of our playgrounds.
yeah.
he got his arm stuck in the guardrail, in between the spindles. And then he was too short to reach the ground and not strong enough to pull himself back up and get his arm out.
Oh.
They're designed to keep your head out, which they did,
Otherwise, it might have been a different call.
Yeah.
but it's just a weird thing.
Yeah.
Freak accident.
Okay, any other questions on the municipal manager report?
Looks like Barry had a very busy month.
Barry's
What?
taking a rattlesnake away from my neighbor's house today.
Yes, I
All
did
that
my
training
rattlesnake
kicking in.
Training on that.
Oh, you were there with him?
No, he took it out, but I got to do the release.
Oh.
So Mike Shannon and I have received our rattlesnake training.
Open the door. and
Were
we'll
you
let out.
practicing on some poor defenseless snake?
Yeah, Barry said before we can do it, he has to supervise us, so he supervised us.
Okay.
That's like a fair size one too.
It was very big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We estimate that it weighed about as much as my saddle.
Did you hear about the one that got loose in the Bylaw truck and didn't get found for 2 or 3 days? In the Bylaw truck? That was interesting.
Why was that?
Brian McNamara was still the Bylaw officer.
Oh, years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions on the report? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And landfill graphs for information. Larry? Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And then next up is council important meetings and events for information.
Those.
I note that on July the 28th, that is Western Wear all the way.
I don't see it on there.
It's just in
It's a big
behind.
snake.
I'll
It
make
is.
that motion to approve as it is.
I would stay very far away
I
from that
already
snake.
did.
Is it too late to
Oh,
amend?
sorry.
He was
not
coming
too late
right
to
after I was
amend.
laying on the ground, taking
Okay.
a picture.
All right, all in favor? Opposed?
Is that on the golf course?
It's carried.
Yeah.
Does anybody need a recess? Seeing none, we will then move into closed session. Would somebody like to
I'll
move us into closed?
I will-
Okay, Jim? All in favor? Opposed? We are going into closed.